All right, what is going on, guys? Welcome to this video. So first off, if you have not checked out the other video that I sent you before on basically the mistake that 95% of people make when they're marketing their book, then probably a good idea to go check that out. But I'll give you a quick recap for short. So first off, one of the big things that I shared in that video was that basically the way that the marketing world has changed, the way that the publishing world really does has changed over the years. And one of the biggest things about that is that in order to really become successful with marketing book, you want to do what I call owning the audience, okay? And the reason that this is so valuable is because you essentially have control over an audience that you can contact regularly, right? Now, a lot of people are doing this, building up audiences, as influencers on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all these kind of things. But what we talked about specifically in that video was the importance of email. And the reason that email is so valuable is because you own it, right? So if you have someone's email on your list, you have permission until they subscribe, which of course you want to allow them to do, you have permission to be able to contact them. And this is not affected by Facebook making any changes or YouTube making changes or Instagram making changes, because trust me, I have friends who have had, for whatever reason, just out of the blue, their Facebook pages or social media pages just turned off like that for whatever reason, and now they no longer have contact to those readers or those audiences, that are their fans. And so then I sent you another article yesterday or the day before, depending on when you're watching this. I sent that to you talking about 1,000 true fans, and really that being the pivotal moment where when you have 1,000 true fans, really you have people that are going to buy your book over and over again. You can launch a book and know that you have readers that are going to want to buy it. And essentially what a true fan, or what I call a true reader, is somebody that basically is going to want to buy whatever you do. They just love you. They love what you're about. And they just want to be involved in what you're doing. And as you think about your own life, you have things like that as well. You have people or sports teams or authors that you follow, influencers that you follow, and you just buy their stuff. You love what they do, and you're very passionate about them. And that's a great thing. There are people out there that are looking for you to do just that. So with that in mind, I want to talk to you about what this framework looks like so you can begin the process of really building up your own readership that you have control over via email, so that you can contact them over and over and really build this relationship so that book sales become easier. Because think about it, if you have 1,000 readers on your email list that are true fans, true readers, and they all spend $10 a month with you, that is $10,000 a month that you are now making from your books, products, services, whatever it may be. So let's talk about how to market your book like a boss within the framework of building up and finding these 1,000 true readers. So let's talk about how to actually attract them. First off, you want your readers to find you, okay? This is essential. And the thing is, we don't want to just shotgun approach this and just hope that a bunch of people sign up for what we're offering. We want to be very specific and very intentional about this, okay? And you really, as a writer, as somebody who is writing this book and sharing your past experiences, whether you have a business, whether you don't have a business, it doesn't matter. If you're writing and sharing this past experience that you have, you're really helping somebody else solve a problem because you've gone through something and you're helping them do the same. So in order to attract those kinds of people that you are going to help them with your specific experience and story that you're going to share in your book, you want to create something of value that will really help them, and that they will actually give their email to you in exchange for. So it needs to be something that really will help move the needle and add value to them. And I'm going to show you an example of this here in just a minute, but I want to give you the framework first. And then once you have their email contact address and you've been given permission by them, then you can continue to build that relationship so that they want to know more about you. They want to buy your books, your services, your products, retreats, etc., all those kinds of things in the future. And this is really how you build a long-term relationship with these people, because they're going to want to know about the books that you're writing and launching and all those kinds of things, all right? So here's how the framework works. So first off, we start off with a one-page massive value opt-in web page. So essentially, this is a web page that is designed for one purpose alone, and that is to capture their email address. And in exchange for that email address, you're going to send them something that is very, very valuable to them, that's going to help them solve a problem, entertain them, or whatever it may be, based on whatever it is that you do. And again, I'll show you an example here in a minute. Then from there, after that, we'll send them to a thank you page where we'll acknowledge and thank them for the for opting in, and we'll either send them at that moment right away the massive value that they've given, or we're going to tell them to check their email, which is something that I prefer to do, so that they can then go get the freebie, and it'll also help with your engagement on email going forward. So that brings us to the third piece of this, which is a welcome email that will contain a link to the freebie that you're going to give away. And now you have their contact information, you're giving them this value, and now we can move to step 4, which is sending them regular email content, not spamming, of course, but adding regular valuable content, what it is that you're doing, things that you're learning, other tools, tricks, tips, strategies that you use and have learned along the way that could really help out somebody who's interested in the topic that you're here sharing with them. So let me show you exactly what this looks like. I'm going to cut over to the other screen, and I'm going to show you what this looks like actually in a web page sequence. Okay, let's take a look. We talked first off, right, about having that one page massive value opt-in web page. And this is exactly it. Some of you might even be watching this, have come into my world because you saw this web page and you opted in. So the free massive value that I'm giving away, and the reason why I'm doing this is just full transparency. I am writing a new book that is specifically on the topic of how to write and publish a best-selling nonfiction book. So I'm building up specifically an audience of people. I might have just slapped the microphone, but I'm building up a new audience of people that specifically are interested in that topic. So I'm working on building up my new audience for this specific book that's coming out. So that's what I'm doing. So you're seeing it actually happen in real time. So check this out though. This is just a simple one-page website. It says, get my free cheat sheet, right? 7 proven steps to writing and publishing a best-selling nonfiction book that changes lives. How to write and publish a best-selling nonfiction book that matters. And, I've been featured on these different media outlets, but it doesn't matter. Everybody is different. You don't have to include those things, but it's just a nice picture of me. And when they click on this, then they will enter their email address. And as soon as they do that, okay, then it's going to take them to this thank you page, right? Which would be the second step, right? So if we look back before, we've got our massive value opt-in webpage. That was the first one over here. And then we go to a thank you web page, right? So this is my thank you page. Again, simple picture. Please check your email. Your cheat sheet is being sent to your inbox right now. Okay, now the reason that I do this and instead of just giving a download link right away is because I want people to check their inbox and I want legitimate emails. Sometimes people put fake emails in here and I'm not interested in that because I want to build up a real readership of people that really are interested in this topic and that I know I can add value and help. So I want real people. So this next step, they go and they actually will get sent this welcome email, right? So this welcome email looks like this, and this is just in the back end of my email autoresponder. I will be talking about the technology coming up here, but here it's very simple. It says, as promised, here's a cheat sheet, there's a download link, and it's a short, brief email that just welcomes them into my world and lets them know that I'm going to be emailing them in the future tomorrow and to keep an eye out for that, okay? And then that brings us back to this point, which is, regular email content. So, I like to be in constant contact with my readers, but at a minimum, you want to be emailing at least once a week, okay? And you're adding different value to them. You're sharing tips, tricks, stories that, have happened in your life, experiences that are relevant to whatever this main web page was that they opted in for, right? So in my case, we're talking about writing a book, right? So everything that relates to this topic here of writing and publishing a book, that's what I'm talking about right now. That's why I've sent you this video right now where we're talking about how do you actually build a tribe of readers that you can market your book to. So the topic is completely relevant. Now, that brings us then to the next page or the next section of this, and you might be asking yourself, okay, so you might be asking yourself, now I understand this framework. That looks awesome. How do I actually get traffic then to my main opt-in page? And also, what are the technology, like what are the tools that you're using, Joshua, to do all this? Because I'll just tell you straight up, I'm not a coder. I don't know how to do any of this kind of fancy stuff. I want to be quick. I want to be efficient. I'm not a technology geek or nerd or anything like that. And if you are, that's totally cool. But I just want it to be simple and done and fast so that I can get to the real business of what I love, which is helping people write books, right, that matter. So how are we going to do that? Well, look out for the next video. I'm going to be sharing that with you over the next few days. So keep an eye out for that. And let me know right now, go in the comments below and let me know like what your biggest takeaway was on this. Let me know what you think your value add opt-in bonus would be for somebody, okay? So let me know what your biggest takeaway is there, and I will see you guys in the next video.